this video, you know, I'm going to open up to you and let you know that sooner or later, most of us have all simp, and this video is called Confessions of a Simp. Confessions of an Ex Simp, I should say. Because I don't simp anymore, because I realize I have taken a red pill and I realize it's not needed. And like I said in prior videos before, if a woman really wants to screw you, she will screw you even if you trip and fell in front of 30,000 people. You know, even if you said something stupid, even if you got hit by a car, she'll probably be like, "Are you okay?" Unzip your jeans and still suck you off. They don't care about being impressed. They don't care about being loud. That's why simping to me is not really needed. They don't care about that stuff if they really want you. If they really want you, they really find a way to your zipper. But when I was 18, I actually, got bad credit because I was trying to impress a girl. So I was 18, got my first credit card, went out, got us some 2-carat earrings. Long story short, we had a little break, little split. She let this guy at, this university she was going to in Maryland called Coppin State. She let him, eat her out. And at the time, I wasn't really had a good job, but I just wanted to make her happy, more than I wanted to see myself happy, and I wanted to feel like, ooh, I was the man. So I ended up getting bad credit. I'm not going to talk about my whole life of simping before I found a red pill, but I'm going to pivotal stories how I was simping. Then I met the single mother. She was Vietnamese. She was so hot. Oh my God, she was so hot. I can't lie. Long story short, took her out on multiple dinner dates. I bought her clothes, jackets, boots off of my fab. Just wanted to see her happy. This confession hurts because I'm going back in the past, but I promise you I don't think about these stories, but I'm digging deep in the crates just to let you know that you're not alone. So long story short, bought her clothes, took her out on multiple expensive dinner dates. I'm talking about till the bill was coming out to like 80, and long story short, she was always throwing a tantrum, but she squirted. I was like, oh my God, oh, this pussy's great, like a simp. And long story short, I gave her a 50-inch TV that I had in a box that I wasn't watching because I don't really watch TV. I read a lot of books. So this confession hurts. So I gave her a 50-inch TV. You know what she did? She took off and never heard from her again. And when I tried to get the TV back, she was like, "I'll call the cops on you." And that moment made me realize, wow, I almost had the law on me, over a female. Like, I have a clean record, but I almost got in a situation with the law. Like, I had to go home from work early. I had to make an excuse because I thought she was about to call the cops on me. Next simp story. I've got catfished before. I think out of most things that hurt, I don't wish being catfished on nobody. But I was on a site called POF, and I suggest men please stay for POF. Was talking to this girl, like none other. Everything was going great. Everything was vibing. And we ended up eventually getting to know each other, and things were going great. I'm talking about, man, I'm asking this girl, what's your favorite color? When's your birthday? I'm writing down in my iPhone notes things about you, things that I like. I'm like, man, I'm gonna score. I'm gonna get this pussy. I'm like, I was even gonna get a hotel at this hotel called the Proximity Hotel. It was about $240 a night. I was gonna really do it up big. I was like, I'm gonna get this pussy. So I went out. Really got a nice outfit. Got some Hennessy, because she said she liked Hennessy. So I went out to the store, got some Hennessy. Long story short, bought a leather jacket. I'm like, man, I was going all out for this date, man, to the point like I was going all out for this date. Like, this was the best date of my life. I never video timed her, never FaceTimed her. And long story short, when it was time to go out, she was like, I drank too much, I'm in the hospital. So I'm like, what? This is the biggest date of my life. She didn't show up, so actually at the time I was hurt. Like, I was feeling like a bitch. I was hurt. I was in my feelings. I'm like, what's going on? So long story short, we were supposed to meet up another time. She flicked on me again. It was a catfish. And I'm talking about, man, I was so down. I was so out, in this simp era of just losses after losses, to the point where I was actually, man, I felt like a little depressed for about, like, I'll say about 2 to 3 months, man. I was down. I didn't really want to leave the house. At the time, I was a manager, so I could kind of pick my own shift. So I asked my boss if I could just come in at 6:30, just so I could sleep all day. I was just really going through it, and this is the confessions of Ex Simp, and from that moment on, I think after the Catfish and the Single Mother TV, that's what led me to the MGTOW movement, and that's what made me, get and swallow the red pill. And I can honestly say, after that, simping was pretty much, it was kind of dead for me, because I just realized, like, I kept watching sad man videos, and I started to understand about female nature, and then I really started to carry myself like I was the prize. So after that, what I decided to do was I decided to get my passport. Now what I did was I first started traveling the world, so I started taking trips, and I also want to touch bases on this. I went monk mode for a year, and so even though I do travel and I do mess around with like hot chicks, I can say I did do monk mode for a year, where I went a whole year without having sex. Best thing ever. I went to Vegas, had a nice room in the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel. Didn't even ask a girl to come back. I was just really living life and doing me. And I suggest that most men should actually take a year off and just live life and do them. And if you could go 2 years, better. But you'll realize that you get to love yourself and appreciate yourself, and you realize that a woman has nothing to do with your happiness. And let me think deep. What's another big simp moment? Oh yeah, one time I was simping at the time. I took this girl out. The date came out to at least like a $250 to $300 dinner date. Sometimes you can even simp with drugs. Like, the only way you can really get to chill with a girl is unless you like, hey, do you smoke weed? And she like, yeah, I smoke weed. And then she comes over, she smoke your weed, she drink your drink. And then you realize, you're like, hey, I gotta go. And you're like, hey, you just did have my drugs. That has happened to me on plenty of occasions. And it was a time like when I first moved down south to North Carolina. I seen this girl. I was like, hey, baby girl, what you eating? Olive Garden, that's nothing. I got you. I was going to take this girl out to get a tattoo. Like on a date, we was going to get a tattoo on a dinner date. Like, this chick was really like, oh man, I'm feeling him. He's real. And, and the long story short, I was living with a girl. I was working mad overtime, so the money wasn't really like, big money. But it just goes to show that before you take the red pill, you feel so happy spending money, thousands of dollars on a woman, whether it's taking trips, whether it's taking cruises, whether she's eating steak that was aged from years ago and she's drinking red wine that was made in the year 1318. Like, simping feels good when you don't know any better. That's why I want to do this convention video. It's not going to be too long. Try to keep my videos under 15 to 20 minutes so you can get on with your day. But make sure you please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to be so honest with you, and it's going to change a lot of lives. But when I used to simp, I used to feel good. Simping made me feel like women would tell me, oh, you're a real man, or you're a real boss, or, hate to say it, but the fact that I'm black, they used to be like, oh, you're a real N-I-G-G-A. And I felt good, working overtime, having thousands of dollars, taking women out, saying, baby girl, get it, whatever you want. That felt good to me. Saying, baby girl, here's a little, money, get your hair and nails done. That felt good. Going into the club, wanting attention, seeing girls in the front row of the stage, and I'm just getting a whole bunch of ones, and, me and my team were all simping at the time, simps of a feather, simp together. I just made that up. Simps of a feather, simp together. So We're all throwing ones. We're all making it rain, off of female validation. We don't really care about what the guys think. We're not really in competition with the guys. So off of female validation, we're making it rain. Girls, they're going crazy. Simping, buying jewelry, not because I like it, but because it was going to attract the female eye. And give me access to use the vagina. Simping, the clothes that I purchase, really wasn't for me. Nowadays I'm really just a V-neck, black tee type of guy. Nice pair of shoes. If I dress up nice, but, it's just really for me. But back in the day, I was going in Saks Fifth Avenue. I was going to Nordstrom's, buying $300 leather jackets, own no real estate, own no property, just simping. The apartment, that, I used to purchase back in the day, it was really all for a woman, got the nice loft so she could come upstairs and be like, ooh, I like this, as opposed to me paying an ungodly amount of money and I didn't even really need it. Simping is a lifestyle. Simping is a culture. Simping is a high. It's a euphoric high. And sometimes you don't even get the pussy. So you might have to start the simping process of spending and gifts all over again. I'm talking about, like I said in previous videos, rappers make simping look cool. Buy my girl a, bracelet, and had a jeweler make a pinky ring and this and that. So I really think, music has a big influence on the simp culture, because these rappers are telling you how they're buying a chick a Birkin bag, and how they bought the chick a car, they bought the chick this, you could get whatever. Like even T.I. said, you could get whatever you like. Hey, stacks on that, so this is what it's all about. That's why when you take the red pill, you feel the rage, because you realize, man, I spent thousands of dollars and I didn't even get anything in return. But I'm here to let you know, I've done so too. I can't go back to simping, because simping, first of all, simping is not going to guarantee you getting laid. And I'm not a PUA, so it's not about getting laid, but it's no investment. Simping is not a good investment. Now, if you're a businessman and you take a woman out to a dinner for business and you landed a new deal, now that's different. That's not simping. That's called business. And now I have a new approach, because when I see females now, I'm just thinking business. How could I make this a business situation? How could I make this a business move? And luckily she's on her grind and all her stuff. But I think business now, because I have a small business and I sell product, I sell merch. So I'm thinking about business now. That's what has really changed ever since I've taken a red pill. I went from a cold approach into how could I get this pussy, from cold approach to how could I hand out this business card, and how could I take care of my business. So this is my video, Confessions of an Ex Simp. And I just want to let you know, I've been there, I've done that. I got the t-shirt to prove it. And I just want to let you know that it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's a bad investment. Take care.